Heroes, Overwatch fans, one and all, I welcome you to Busan, the newest map to hit Overwatch, or shall I say the PTR. So, I am literally recording this an hour and a half to 2 hours after the announcement that Busan was coming to the game. We are in South Korea. So, this is the hometown of the MEKA squad, and D.Va, obviously. That, what you're looking at, is the home of MEKA. But that's not where we're starting off. This is Busan. So this is a control map, King of the Hill. 3 different places on this map, and they are 3 very, very different places. I'm telling you, they are very, very different looking. Okay, they're like 3 entirely different maps. This is the city centre, downtown, I believe it's called. Your point is here, I believe, and it's a rather interesting map. There is, as you might notice, a lot of high ground that you can stand on. I don't know whether you can stand on this, I think it's too high, but this you certainly can. I would have thought this you can. This is high ground over the point, and I believe, according to Jeff, that if we wait here a second, this train is lethal. I would assume you can jump out here and get hit by it. Much similar to Oasis. So I wouldn't do that if I were you. There's nothing really in here. This is the Busan International Theatre. There is a MEKA though, so if you want to heal yourself up, there is a nice place to do it. Spawns. Spawns are over here. This is the first spawn. For one side, and I actually haven't taken a look inside the spawn room yet. This is what it looks like. It's kind of like a karaoke place. You will see a heck of a lot of these around, so don't be surprised. That is one spawn room. This coming out of here reminds me of a cross between Hanamura and Numbani, because that just reminds me of Numbani over there. I don't know why, but you will get some more Hanamura-esque features later on. There's little flanks here and there. There's a little high ground here that I hadn't seen yet, which gives you quite a good view of this open space. This is all high ground above the point. Destroyable barriers, I would have thought. And yeah, this is just like the central area. The customary swiveling gates, because for some reason every map seems to have that, and all this little area around here, but this is your point. So yeah, let's go to the other spawn. I actually haven't been in the spawn rooms on this map. There is D.Va in a different suit. This is a bang or something, one of those PC places in Korea where you can sit and play any game you want. So that's really, really interesting. And we also have a dance floor. Yeah, a dance floor. Or a dance match, shall I say. So this is really cool. I think Abang? I think it's Abang, isn't it? And we have D.Va, MEKA, vending machines, quite obviously. Oh, you will notice heavily that this is just like the home of D.Va. There is D.Va everywhere on this map. I think there is one map where D.Va isn't really present, but we'll get to that in a minute. This is also another neat high ground, but not a lot of people are going to be able to access that high ground. You'll see there's no way to get up there unless you have movement. So Widow, D.Va, Hammond, Winston, Reinhardt ain't going to get up there unless you get up there with Symmetra. Zarya isn't either, nor is McCree, nor is Soldier. They'll have to do a teleport to get up there. But that's a neat little tiny bit of high ground if you so want to. This area seems a bit pointless. It's just literally for the MEKA. I don't understand really why that's there. And we've got this lovely, lovely big pillar, which is, I believe this is actually like a train station or something. It's not just the train going past. I think this is meant to be some sort of station, but Hey, I don't know. Some Korean writing, which I don't know what it says, don't even ask me. And that is going to wrap it up for this bit of the map. Again, you can see bags with DVA on. DVA is literally everywhere on this map. Everywhere. So, that is downtown Busan. There are 2 other points. So let's go and look at them. This is the Temple of Busan. As you can see, over there is the MEKA place. This is like to the left of the big city of Busan. And this is just a massive temple area. Now, I did say that this would give you vibes of Hanamura. And that it does. It is notably different, though, to Hanamura, even though it looks very similar. We have 2 temples here. This is not the point. Don't think this is the point. This is not Hanamura. This is not the point. That is the point. This big open area in the middle with the big drum? I don't know what that is, but this is the point anyway. So, yeah, that is quite an open point, but we do have a lot of cover here with these big walls guarding off things. Okay, so spawn is over here. Or one spawn, shall I say. Quite interesting. They're like, again, temple places. This is, I believe, like a place of meditation or something? Or instruments or something. So this is some sort of like praying or meditation place, or I don't know. I'm not really clued up on that sort of thing. You've got little rooms, as you do on generally all the maps. A mini in there. Where is the MEKA, actually? That's something I don't know. Another mini there. There's another mini over there. A lot of minis. We all love minis. Where's the MEKA? There's a MEKA. The MEKA in there. I don't know what's in this room. Otherwise, it might just be a pointless room. So that's just more cover, but with a view onto the point. Same as the big temple over there is cover, but with a view onto the point. I believe there's probably a MEKA in there because it's a symmetrical map. This is one big tablet thing. There's one of them over there as well, I believe, which is really cool. It floats, if you didn't notice, and I believe it probably has particle effects. I just don't have it on. Here's a nice looking guy. How you doing? A mini in here, again symmetrical to the other side of the map, and we come to the other spawn on this map with some bicycles, obviously. And this is another area of music and meditation, I suppose. I don't know, really. I'm not really clued up. And there's some nice sigils and stuff like that around the place. It's a very decorative area of the map. It really is. This is a really, really nice looking map, by the way. Colourful as always. Overwatch is always colourful, but there's another MEKA here. I thought there had to be another one. There's a mini there. There's probably another mini over there. But this is, again, beautiful. Look at the trees in the background. Absolutely fantastic. As these maps are always fantastic. But, oh boy, this is a beautiful map. Especially this part. I mean, city centre is brilliant, and what I'll show you in a minute is also fantastic. But this is awesome. I have to be aware that I am actually in a game, because you can't do this in the skirmish mode because it just sends you to city centre all the time. Or downtown. I'm going to call that city centre all the time, and that's Oasis. That's going to get annoying. Also, you do have a view down onto the point here, so that's actually a view advantage for Farah. It could be quite a Farah strong map when you think about this. Or this part of the map could be quite Farah strong. So that's also really good if you're a Farah main. It's very open, but there's not a lot of standable high ground. Now what I mean by that is I don't believe you can stand on this. I haven't tried it, but it doesn't look like you can stand on this. It looks like you would slide. So, it's probably not going to be that good for Widow, because she's going to struggle for high ground, unless you can stand on these. If you can stand on these, then it might actually be quite good for Widow. Especially if you could stand on here, but this will be too high to stand on here. So, again, Hanzo could be quite good here. Farah could be quite good here. It's too open, really, for Junkrat to be really strong. Actually, the next map might be a bit of a stronger map for Junkrat. This is just generally the most open of the three. You're going to get... It's weird. It's weird. It's open and it's also not open, if you see what I mean. You look from here and you can't see the point at all. That's the point of these, whatever these are, these big stones there. They block off line of sight to that point. So if you're Widow, you can go here, but you're not going to have much line of sight. You're not going to have massive views of the point. So this is not really Widow strong, but I think this could be quite strong for Farah. Shall we move on to the last map in the 3-map set? Welcome to D.Va's living quarters. Yes, this map has D.Va lore, and it has quite a bit of it, coupled with the new cinematic that's out for D.Va. And if you haven't checked it out, I'll probably got a link in the description. It's on the Overwatch YouTube. Anyway, this is D.Va's living quarters. As you can see, the chairs match her colours, and she's got a lot of trophies. And a bag with herself on it. But, you know. This is the MEKA headquarters. And as you'll see, there are a few coloured doors. This is one of the spawns, by the way. One door is open for D.Va. D.Va. These other ones are not open for Oman, King, Casino, and Overlord. So, this tells us a lot about lore because we now have the names of other MEKA pilots. We now have, we know there was 5 MEKA pilots. We know there was 5 mechas. This is really, really interesting. This is, you know, this is the most lore-heavy part of the map, by the way. If you had any doubt. And don't be surprised if you're getting Horizon Lunar Connolly vibes here. I posted on Twitter saying, hey, when is one of these doors going to open? And reveal a new mecha hero. But apparently, according to the cinematic, I don't want to spoil anything, but these mecha heroes might have to change anyway. But let's not go into that. Customary fire extinguishers you can hit and set themselves off. These are the living quarters for the mecha pilots anyway. As we know, there's only one right now. Of course, there's games going on right here, because why not? And we have all sorts of cool stuff. And an air hockey table and stuff like that. Refreshments if you want it. So, this is not just based on her living quarters, though. This is the sea. This is that big place that I was showing you. Off in the distance. This is MEKA headquarters in the sea off the coast of Busan. As you can see, I believe, I don't know how high I can get here, but there is the city of Busan, and there's the trees in the background from the other 2 maps. This is where the cinematic takes place. This is where, this sea area is where the big Omnic comes out of the sea and tries to attack South Korea. And this is where the MEKA pilots will defend it from. So, as you can see, you can get outside the map. You can fall down here and die, so please don't. This is one spawn where obviously the living quarters are. And we got a lot of little roads and inner bits that you can go down underneath. I actually haven't been down here yet. And fall right out if you want to. That's always a possibility if you wish to do that. Be warned. This comes out to this area. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm sure you've realized that that is actually the point. I need to go down. Thank you. So this is the underneath area. You can also go, ooh, that's bright, up to this area. It's a bit of a diner area. Another random room in here, which leads to the other side with a mini in it. This is the spawn. You come from through here. And basically it all leads to this area. This is the main staging area for the MEKA operations. As you can see, a lot of like cool instruments. And more about those things in a minute. So this is all controlled by the Korean army, and your point is down here. And as you can see, there is movable cover. I don't quite know how this works, but it goes up and down. So at one point this is going to be an hilariously open point, and at another point, when those barriers come up, it's going to be quite enclosed, i.e. now. So this is a real weird point, to be quite honest with you. There is high ground up here with a mini on it. Please don't fall off because you'll fall to your death. And there's obviously high ground up here. So you have vision looking down onto the point, which is a common thing with these indoor sort of points, a bit like Horizon Lunar Colony has its big open walkways above the point. Or walkways, only singular walkway. This has two walkways. There is some sort of elevation thing here. I don't really know what that's about, but we go down to these little areas on the opposite side of the map. This map, I believe, is not symmetrical. So, bear that in mind. These are little walkways. Again, you come to ammunition and stuff like that for the mechas. Again, little rooms, as Overwatch always tend to put in here. A little mini over there. And here we come to the second spawn room, as I move my way through all of this little jungle here, back to the ammunition depot. Now, what could be on this side? This is where everything gets planned. This is like a conference area. And this is really interesting. This is where perhaps more than 5 mecha pilots, perhaps they were in training things right here, look. I believe these would be training for mechas. This is like a training room for the mecha team, if you want to become a mecha pilot. So, confirmation of 5 mechas. As you can see, the far right is D.Va's mecha, but we have 4 other mechas here. The one on the far left looks like it's just a drone sort of mecha, if you see what I mean. It doesn't actually have legs, which is interesting. But there are 4 other mechas here, so there is possibility for other heroes. Other mecha heroes. Could be really interesting. But could we be seeing a mecha hero in the future? Remember what they did with Horizon and Hammond? They had doors which they could open at any point and reveal a new hero. That's exactly what they did. Maybe in time we will get one of these other 4 mechas, and one of those doors in the other spawn room will open. Who knows? But I don't think it will be immediately, because that would be a bit weird, considering you've literally just showed this map to us, and then at BlizzCon, hey, look, new mecha hero. I don't think that will happen. Remember, Horizon isn't an original Overwatch map. Horizon was, you know, brought in like this Busan map has. So maybe a year down the line we might see a new mecha hero. But this is where D.Va flies out in the cinematic. If you hadn't seen it, I recommend you go and see it. This is a awesome map. I really, really like it. I don't know actually what these down here. Oh, these will lead to the little walkways down there. It's very open. In terms of, you know, it's got a lovely view out to the sea, to be quite honest with you. And I'm not sure how this dynamic barrier thing will work. Do you know what I would kind of like to see? Actually, there's a place down here I haven't seen yet. Oh, here's the mechas! I didn't know they were here! Oh, you learn something new every day. So, we have this mecha, which looks like some sort of like jet ski sort of mecha. We have this guy, which I really wouldn't want to argue with. We have this guy, which looks a lot similar to D.Va's mecha. And then we have this guy. This is some sort of drone mecha by the looks of it. But this looks the most similar to D.Va. Obviously D.Va's mecha isn't here, because D.Va owns her mecha or something. It's not stored here. There's not even a storage compartment for it, interestingly enough. So the question is, why is there no storage compartment for D.Va's mecha? That is a really good question, by the way. I presume the mechas go in here, they fly up here. Or the mecha pilots go down. I don't quite know how that works, but interesting that there's no actual storage bay for D.Va's mecha, which raises some interesting questions. Maybe D.Va's mecha goes here and she can drop down into it, maybe, but I find that odd. So that's interesting. 5 mechas but 4 holding pens for mechas, so Where does D.Va's mecha get stored? What does D.Va do with her mecha? Does she just keep it herself in... She can't keep it in her living quarters because the living quarters aren't big enough. So, where is D.Va's mecha kept? Really interesting question to be answered. Anyway, going back to my original point. These moving barriers, the moving cover, I'm not sure how they work because they're on a timer. So if you play the map a lot, you'll learn the timers of when they're going to come up and when they're going to come down. But what I would like to see is this implemented. I like this idea, but I would like it to be controllable. So if I go up and press E, the barrier moves up. If I press E again, it goes down. I'd like to be able to control it myself. I think that would add a real dynamic way of fighting. But as for the moment, we have these barriers that move up and down, so this is quite a dynamic point, and I'm not sure how it will work. But it'll be interesting. I haven't actually played the map yet. I just looked at it. I've analysed it, if you see what I mean. So this is really, really interesting. But this is Busan. This is the home of D.Va. This is the home of MEKA. This is South Korea. This is where the Omnic dude kills people. So this is really exciting. We are getting lore for a hero that kind of lacked lore, if you see what I mean. She'd had a StarCraft background messed around with. So this is a really exciting time if you're a D.Va main, because not only have you got a D.Va cinematic, you've got a map dedicated to her home, you've got lore based in the map around D.Va, you've got a heck of a lot of stuff for D.Va right now. I mean, we kind of expected it with this South Korean event going on and all that, but it's really, really interesting. I recommend you also go and watch the Twitch stream from Play Overwatch. I'm sure it'll be on their VODs. I believe they're going to talk about D.Va and her background. But D.Va has new lore. There is a new map. There is a new cinematic. As a D.Va main, I really appreciate this. This is awesome. This is fantastic, and it's nice to see some lore put into the game. I would like to see a heck of a lot more, though. I know there's people calling for a Zenyatta cinematic. We are quite short of Zenyatta lore. We're quite short of lore on a lot of heroes. And this is one hero that's now been kind of like updated with lore, because there's not too much you can say about D.Va, because D.Va's 19. She wasn't part of Overwatch previously because she would have been too young. So D.Va's much more of a current time hero for Overwatch. And it's nice to see exactly what goes on, how she got it'd be nice to see how she was. The cinematic is based around her fighting the big Omnic and some Omnics that come out of the sea out there. That's always been known as part of the history of South Korea and Overwatch, if you see what I mean. The big Omnic comes out of the sea, and the mechas suit up in their suits and go and fight the Omnic. The cinematic is based around that. I would like to know, like, how D.Va was... I mean, we know that D.Va was a pro gamer, and South Korea recruited their pro gamers to become mecha pilots because of their, you know, their skills and their reactions and stuff like that. I just like a more in-depth lore based around that. And then maybe go into the future with stuff, because a lot of the lore is based around past events now, right? But I want to see what's happening now, which would be really, really awesome. But there is so much, and I created a video about this, and I don't want to start ranting about this, but I created a video about it the other day. There is so much potential for absolutely tons of lore in this game. And I mean tons of it. Tons and tons and tons. We've just been fed a bit of D.Va lore. We've now got a map based on, well, not based on D.Va, but based around her history. And it's really nice to see, and I want more of this. So much more. We have a map based around Genji and Hanzo's history on Hanamura. We have a map based around Winston and Hammond's history on Horizon Lunar Colony. And, if you think about that, just saying that, 2 heroes for one map, 2 heroes for one map, 1 hero for one map. Maybe in the future we're getting a new mecha hero, huh? I don't think it'll be BlizzCon's hero, but in the future I think, Maybe even this flying drone. I'd like to see that. I would like to see that because that would be different, in my opinion. D.Va doesn't have sustained flight. There's not really any hero with sustained flight apart from Pharah, and then you have to manage her jets. So this mecha, what about that as a new hero, huh? That's good. That would be awesome. Come on, Blizzard, give it to us. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next video. See you then.